Hello there. So my name's Dave, and I'm a teacher within the art department, and I am part of the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion team at Barton Peveril College. So this short presentation is part of a series of presentations aimed to help you improve your own health and well-being and get the most out of your studies at Barton Peveril College. So this short presentation is on improving your own mental health. So let's first of all define what mental health is. So some of this information has been taken directly from the NHS. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Over the course of your life, if you experience mental health problems, your thinking, mood, and behavior could be affected. Many factors contribute to mental health problems, including biological factors such as genes or brain chemistry, life experiences such as trauma or abuse, family history of mental health problems too. And mental health can be a disability that is not always visible, so we must be mindful of this, both for ourselves and other people. So take a look at some of these photographs. You might know some of these people here, all celebrities. So consider maybe which ones of these people have suffered from mental health challenges during their life. You might have guessed already that the answer is all of them. And there's a little link there if you want to have a look at some more people, more celebrities who have also met these challenges, but also learned how to work with them. So, of course, you're not alone. Here's some stats for thought. So 16 million people in the UK experience a diagnosable mental illness. 50% of mental health problems are established by age 14 and 75% by age 24. So you can see how this is a really important period of time for you. 49% of 18 to 24-year-olds who have experienced high levels of stress felt that comparing themselves to others was a source of stress. More than half of young people link mental illness with alienation and isolation, which of course, when you consider the recent lockdowns, how prevalent that might be within our society at present. 46% reported that they ate too much or ate unhealthily due to stress. 29% reported that they started drinking or increased their drinking. 16% reported that they started smoking or increased their smoking. And 10% of children and young people aged 5 to 16 years have a clinically diagnosable mental health problem. So some quite striking statistics for thought there. So it's time to speak up about these problems, to work together, to break the cycle of negativity, to help ourselves and to help one another. So let's understand anxiety, which of course can be a major factor within mental health problems. So we all need to learn how to regulate our emotions. This is something that we all have to do as human beings. When under too much pressure, college and everyday life can lead us into survival mode. This is a very primitive function, but one that still operates within the modern human. And you might have heard of these 3 F's here. So fight, anger and frustration. Flight, not turning up to something or leaving a situation. And freeze, withdrawal and depression. So these are all extreme ways in which we might react when under extreme anxiety. And you might be able to associate yourself with one or more of these particular ways of behaving. So why does it happen and how can we avoid it? So there's an analogy here. It's called the stress bucket. There's a few different names for it out there. But imagine this. So we all have a limited capacity for stress. Although it's a normal everyday part of life, we do have a limited capacity on how much we can deal with. So over time, stressful experiences fill our stress bucket and can overflow if not kept in check. This is why when the bucket is full, the simplest of things can push us over the edge. So you can imagine this as the bucket overflowing. So take a look at that diagram. You can see that there are certain things at the top there. So different challenges might fill up our buckets. And you can almost imagine that as rain pouring into the bucket and filling it up. And there are things at the bottom there that could help to empty that bucket. So things like rest and relaxation, talking to trusted people, doing something you enjoy, and good time management. So we should aim to make sure we do as many healthy things as we can that release some of the stress. And one of the most effective things is actually healthy sleep. So being able to develop good sleep hygiene can be really beneficial in emptying that stress bucket. Another way of thinking about this is finding your stretch zone. So if you have the tendency to run away from situations, or you find that things, when they get stressful, you don't want to engage with them, then this is a really useful tool. So it's good to find a balance between comfort and the red zone. So you can see here that comfort is in the center and the red zone is on the outside. Within the center is the stretch zone, and that's the place that we want to be. So at first, set yourself little challenges. Nothing too big at first, and you can gradually expand over time. Know that developing good mental health takes time and exercise. You can think of it as a bit like a muscle. Know your limits, but don't be afraid to try. And the more we practice, the more we will expand the size and dominance of the green zone. So the more we push ourselves, the more we can find that we become more and more confident, and we can deal with more and more challenges. So that, in combination with the emptying of that stress bucket, can be really, really effective. One more way of thinking about managing your mental health is about developing a growth mindset. So when we think positively with a solution-focused perspective, we can feel better about ourselves. So people with a fixed mindset, so take a look at the red image there and the red text on the right-hand side. So people with a fixed mindset often believe that their qualities and skills are fixed and therefore cannot change. People with a growth mindset believe that intelligence, skills, learning, and creativity can all grow with time and experience. So you might find that you are pretty predominant in one of those particular mindsets, or you might sometimes have a bit of a mix. Sometimes it might be when you're a bit tired, you might move towards a more fixed mindset. So there's a bit of a balance quite often for a lot of people. But with practice, we can develop some really positive habits, which can help us to feel really good about ourselves. So here's some examples. So for example, you might think there's no point in trying, it's too hard. So think about learning a new skill. But you could reword that. So a growth mindset would say, even small steps help me to move forwards. Or, for example, I already know all I need to know. A growth mindset would say, I know that there is more that I can learn. And finally, what's the point in trying if I'm going to fail? You could say, it's always good to try, failure as a learning curve. So very simple flipping of sentences can make you feel totally different, and it will actually fire different parts of the brain and make you feel good, so releasing some good healthy chemicals. So some people just seem to be quite good at this, and other people, of course, find it more difficult. So are some people just born successful? Well, I can tell you no. You might be born into circumstances and environments that actually make things easier for you, but as a general rule, it does take some degree of effort to become successful. So the iceberg illusion shows us that success in anything is often dependent on some of the following things. So positive thinking, persistence, dedication, hard work, discipline, working with the ups and the downs, mistakes and failure. So there's a real mixture of things, but what people see often is the bit on top. So those successful people out there, maybe those celebrities you saw in the slides at the beginning, we see that level of success, but you don't always notice or have any awareness of the things underlying that success. So that challenge they've had to manage and deal with over time, and how people have to work with that level of comfort and that stretch zone. So just bear in mind that, as we said, developing healthy mental health is like a muscle. It takes time, it takes practice. So there's lots of support in college. So of course, supporting yourself is one of the number one approaches, but there are other things to help you too. So we have the College Health and Wellbeing page. So these are all links, and you can use this presentation to connect with these things. So lots of really great things. And actually, I've taken quite a lot of those things and put them into this slideshow. There's the student wellbeing mentors. So they've been trained. They're students that can help give you short one-to-one sessions to help coach you and help you move through your studies more effectively. There's the college counselling service. There's the NHS mental health service. There's taking a mind plan quiz, joining the EDI committee, clubs and societies. There are so many things already in place that you can get engaged with and take support. So taking positive actions towards better health is the key to success. So don't be afraid to say how you feel. Have positive conversations with people. Look after yourself by eating and sleeping well. Ask your friends how they are. Set yourself positive targets. Have a hobby or join a club. Get active. Know when to ask for help. And of course, alert a professional of your needs. So lots of different ways in which you can work with taking some positive actions towards better health. There's a great magazine here, so the Student Health Guide. It's a holistic health and well-being resource. It features articles about independent living, decision-making, money management, interview tips, and paid employments. So very real-world things. It can help you now and prepare you for the next chapter of your life. So click here to access a digital copy. It always helps to be a bit more knowledgeable. So to understand yourself, understand the way your mind works, and understand what kind of things can really help you and the way you support your own mental health and well-being. So these, again, are all links. Some really, really great books here for you to explore. So some of these that you might find you really engage with, others really inspire you. Then again, maybe you like some more practical things like practicing yoga or mindfulness. So there's something here for everyone. Getting organized can really, really help too. So there are loads of really good apps now and web pages that can really help you to get your stuff sorted. So whether it's organizing your workload, playing some music while you study, setting timers so you can calculate how much time you spend on different tasks. So lots of really great things that can support you. You could visit the Barton Peveril Health and Wellbeing site. So really, really good site, lots of really useful information and lots of links between the site and different methods of support. So let's get a bit practical before we wrap this up. So there's a lovely breathing technique that I've used many, many times in many, many situations. So it's a simple breathing technique for calming your nervous system and can be practiced anytime you like. One of the great things about it is that no one will necessarily even know that you're doing it. So taking one of your hands, you're going to practice breathing whilst you move your thumb along your fingers. There's a really lovely sensory aspect to this, so it can feel really nice as you're doing it, and there's something really calming about that too. So starting with your index finger, so see the image there with the arrow. As you inhale, you're going to slide the tip of your thumb, so the base to the tip along the finger. Then as you exhale, you're going to slide it back to where it started. So simply repeat that with each finger all the way to the little finger, and then you can restart if you wish to continue. So the breathing method could be just a really natural, simple breath, very calm. But of course, it's important that it's comfortable for you. There is some research to suggest that around 5 to 6 breaths per minute, and one breath is inhale and exhale. It's a really healthy method of breathing. So having approximately 5 to 6 breaths per minute can be just right. You could try that in the tutor session today. So you could try inhaling and exhaling and having roughly 5 to 6 breaths per minute. Those of you good at maths out there, that's roughly 12 seconds in total for an inhale and exhale together. So give it a go. It works really, really well, and you can do it while you're waiting in a queue. You can do it when you're in an exam. You can do it while you're sitting in your tutor session, waiting on a bus. Breathing can really calm your mind and really help you to improve your own mental health and well-being. Okay, just a couple of things. So look out for your friends. So it's really great that we can work together on this. So be observant and look out for one another. Just be open and talk about your problems with someone you trust. Connect with your friend or friends and connect them with the resources that are suggested in this slideshow. So not everyone kind of absorbs everything. So you might have heard some really kind of suitable things that might suit someone that you know that could really help them. Maybe lend them a book or share some knowledge or experience of your own. Use the breathing technique, but use it together. So it's really great for managing panic attacks. So if someone needs your support, then just reminding them in those times of challenge that breathing can really, really help. Join a club, society, or class. So something like a sport or yoga, for example, but do it together. So take the first step. So if you're worried about yourself or a friend, in college you could speak to teachers, tutors, SPAs, college counsellor, college nurse, or even the assistant principal for student progress and wellbeing. Got lots of digital resources too. Quite often the first step is to help yourself, to be proactive, to be active in your own wellbeing. But of course, remember, there's always support out there. There's lots of links here too. So there's loads more of these. Many of them are listed on the College Health and Wellbeing site already mentioned. But try them out, check them out, and they could just help you through some of your difficult times. So there's a few other numbers on there you could use if you need to. So a few phone numbers there. And there's the red button. So on the college intranet site, in an emergency, you can press that button and there'll be someone there to support you. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope it connects you to some things that could really change things for you, can make life just a better place to be. So thank you for listening and take care.